Dear students of Standard 10th, welcome to the virtual class of Geography, Climate of India, which is a continuation of the last part. This is part 2. During the last class, I have explained you about the type of climate that is prevalent in India and the characteristics of Indian climate. And we have started with the seasons in India. As I have told you, India experiences 4 seasons: the hot, dry season, the rainy season, the season of the retreating southwest monsoon, and the cold weather season. So these mangosas, these are also hot and wet winds and helpful in the early ripening of mango. Then besides we have and it is mangosas are generally prevalent in southwestern India. Then we have the cherry blossoms or the coffee sar, which is also prevalent in southwestern part of India and is helpful for the growth of for the blossoming of cherry flowers or coffee flowers. So let us come to the characteristics of this hot dry season. As I have told you during the characteristics already told you, and the most important thing is the prevalence of these local winds. So here we go to the second season that is prevalent in India. That is called the rainy season or the advanced monsoon season. So the concept is like this: during this advanced monsoon season, there is prevalence of seasonal wind. So what is that seasonal wind called? That seasonal wind called southwest monsoon. So the southwest monsoon, with the onset of the southwest monsoon, we experience the rainy season in India, or the advance of monsoon in India. So it starts as southeast monsoon from the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, that is from the Andaman Sea, and as it approaches towards the equator, it changes its direction because of the Coriolis force, which we have already read that it is a force developed due to the rotation of the earth responsible for the deflection of wind and water bodies from their original path. Hence, the southeast monsoon event changes its direction due to the prevalence of this Coriolis force, and it changes its direction from southeast to southwest. So now no more it is termed as the southeast monsoon winds, rather it came to be termed as the southwest monsoon winds. And as the southwest monsoon wind approaches towards the mainland of India, when it reaches the southernmost part of India, due to the shape of the country, it splits into 2 branches. So here are the certain things about this advance of monsoon in India. The southwest monsoon break first on 1st of June over Kerala on the Malabar coast. By 5th of June, they overrun whole of Kerala on the west and Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, proceeds towards northeast, and by 10th of June they reach Mumbai. By 15 cover Ahmedabad and Bhopal, and by 1st of July they cover most parts of Kutch in eastern Rajasthan, whole of Uttar Pradesh and Haryana. So here we come, as the monsoon winds reach to the southern part of India, as I have told you, and it splits into 2 branches, that is the Arabian Sea branch and the Bay of Bengal branch. So the Arabian Sea branch is considered to be mightier than that of the Bay of Bengal branch. The reason is like this: because the total amount of moisture that is picked up by the Arabian Sea is said within the country as rainfall, whereas the Bay of Bengal branch that travels straight away to another country, that is Myanmar. It gets stricken here in Myanmar, that is against the Arakan Yoma mountains, then changes its direction, as a result of which major part of the rainfall from the Bay of Bengal branch is received by this windward side of this Arakan Yoma mountains. So let's discuss about these 2 branches of monsoon, that is Arabian Sea branch and the Bay of Bengal branch. So Arabian Sea branch strikes the western part or the southwestern part of India, and the western part of Western Ghats gets the maximum amount of rainfall from or out of this Arabian Sea branch. So when it travels straight after causing rainfall along the western part of Western Ghat. It travels straight to the Himalayas, then whatever, and by this time the amount of moisture in the branch get reduced, and whatever amount of moisture remains, that's again as it get obstructed by the Himalayas, causes rainfall along the southern part of the Himalayas, and after causing rainfall along the foothills of the Himalayas, then again it changes as it is obstructed by the Himalayas, then changes its directions towards the northwestern part of the country. And when it reaches the northwestern part of the country, it has the least amount of rainfall or least amount of water vapor in it, as a result of which there may be less amount of rainfall or no rainfall along the northwestern part of the country. So one thing I want to mention is about this Arabian Sea branch. So one sub branch of this Arabian Sea branch, when it travels through the or after crossing the Western Ghats, when it travels into the mainland of the country, it moves parallel to the Aravallis, as a result of which, as it moves parallel to the Aravallis, the western part of Rajasthan is not able to get any rainfall from this Arabian Sea branch. And this is one of the reasons why Thar is a desert, or why western Rajasthan is termed as the Great Indian Desert. So this is the concept of the Arabian Sea branch. Then we come to the Bay of Bengal branch. As the Bay of Bengal branch moves, it moves parallel to the eastern coast of the country, straight away gets abstracted by the Arakan Yoma mountains of Myanmar. So there, after getting abstracted by the windward side of the Arakan Yoma mountains in Myanmar, it changes its direction. So by the time the amount of moisture in the branch get reduced, and when it reaches the foothills of the Himalayas, there again getting abstracted by the Himalayas causes rainfall. But the amount of, there is a difference in the amount of rainfall that is occurred in Myanmar or the windward side of the Arakan Yoma mountains and the foothills of the Himalayas, because of variation in the amount of moisture in the branch. Then after causing rainfall along the foothills of the Himalayas, again unlike the Arabian Sea branch, again it changes its direction towards the northwestern part of the country, and when it reaches the northwestern part of the country, that time, because of lack of moisture, it is not able to cause any rainfall. So northwestern part of India mostly gets less rainfall or no rainfall out of the two branches, that is the Arabian Sea branch and the Bay of Bengal branch of southwest monsoon. So when both the branches they reach the northwestern part of the country, there due to lack of moisture they becomes dry, and they try to blow from land to sea. This is the concept of the southwest monsoon that gets divided into two branches, that is the Arabian Sea branch and the Bay of Bengal branch, out of which India gets most of its rainfall. Then comes to another season, that is the retreating southwest monsoon, or we call it the withdrawal of the southwest monsoon season. So during this period it happens that the monsoon trough becomes weaker and loses its power to attract the rain bearing winds, as a result of which the monsoon winds start withdrawing from the mainland of the country. So the retreat of monsoon takes place due to the migration of the sun towards the south and the withdrawal of the southwest monsoon. So it is a transition period marked by the occurrence of tropical depressions and causes tremendous loss of life and property. So the part of the winter rainfall in Tamil Nadu, the amount of winter rainfall is received by Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh caused by the retreating monsoon, and the storm in the Arabian Sea also get experienced during this season, but it is rare, whereas the cyclones in the Bay of Bengal during this season are frequent. The concluding part of the video or of the lesson will continue in the next part, that is part 3. Thank you.